All right, everybody, it's me, Gregory Manarino. Something is going on here. I'm being serious. My internet is down, and I apologize for this video getting out late. Had no way to upload it. But I'm here now. You're here now. Let's take care of business. I really don't know where to start. I guess let's talk about the rally here on Wall Street. Pretty impressive. I'll tell you what else is impressive. On Saturday, I explained to you that two asset classes were going to fall under pressure. That is cryptocurrencies and precious metals. Well, did you see what they did today? This will continue in this environment. And as far as I'm concerned, every single time you see a dip in either of these two asset classes, it's time to acquire more. Unless, of course, and be my guest, to stay in the dollar in this environment. Let's move forward here. So stocks, nice rally across the board. A lot of this initially was sparked by earnings. Bank earnings, for the most part, did real well. This really shouldn't surprise anyone. If you recall, they were saying, oh, bank earnings, they're not going to be so good. This is going to be a wake-up call for Wall Street. Well, this guy said that wasn't going to happen. And, of course, this guy was correct. Look, their job, the mainstream channels, the mainstream financial channels, their job is to mislead you in every way they possibly can to keep you confused. And I find that revolting and disturbing, and I'm happy you're here so I can clarify this for you. Now let's talk about a couple of other things that we need to understand why this market rallied today. How many of you recall Fed President Bullard several weeks ago coming out on CNBC, his little conversation with Sarah, you know, they were all lovey-dovey with each other. He explained at that time, before it happened, that the Fed was going to be expanding its balance sheet, in other words, inflating it. He also explained to us, to his credit, I mean, the guy's the new mouthpiece because they can't send out Yellowstone. If you notice, when Yellowstone comes out, the market doesn't like it. So now they have chosen Fed President Bullard to come out and be the mouthpiece. They always throw these hints out there. Now, it seems that Bullard, again, so going back to his little interview with the lovely Sarah over there, he explained that the Fed was going to be expanding its balance sheet or inflating it. He explained that the banks were demanding capital. In other words, they were going to be recapitalized. These two things have happened since he put it out there. Hadn't happened yet. Now today, Fed President Bullard was floated out again, people. Floated out again. And he gave us two big clues. And this is another reason why stocks went up today. And well, we will be seeing record highs very soon. Who knows? Maybe even tomorrow. I have no idea. Number one, Fed President Bullard explained that this repo scam that is supposed to end in January, no, it looks like it's going to be expanded. I told you already this was perpetual. It was not going to end. When it was first announced, before they even kicked the can down the road the first time, remember? It was supposed to end the 10th of this month. They kicked the can to the 8th of next month. Now they kicked the can to January, but no. Fed President Bullard is saying more than likely it's going to be expanded and extended, perpetual. They have to do it. The bond market, which used to be one of my main tools to gauge this market, has now become a complete and total farce. And I laugh when I hear people on the mainstream media now talking about, oh, look at the 10-year. Oh, look at the 2-year. Look at the 30. It doesn't matter. It's all being rigged. It's not real. It's incredible, but you have to believe it's real. But we know it's not. With QE now in full swing, there is no possible way, with the Fed buying everything, they're rigging the federal funds rate, they have this repo scam, which again, Fed President Bullard is explaining is going to be expanded till it's infinite. We know that already. The Fed's buying medium-term debt, short-term debt, everything. The whole yield curve doesn't matter. Whatever they're telling you the yields are, it's not real. I mean, they're being set by the Federal Reserve. The market has no say so right now as to what's happening in the debt market. So that should make it clear to you. You can't make heads or tails of it anymore. The debt market is out there. It's gone. We cannot use that as a gauge anymore. Now, so number one, why stocks went up today, earnings. Number two, Fed President Bullard explaining that more stimulus is coming in every form that you can think about. That must be because our economy is booming. Okay, we'll put that over to the side for now. Number three, yeah, there's a third one. Apparently, there is a truce either in the works or it's kind of gotten agreed to already between President Trump and the President of China. Now, a truce. What happened to the substantial phase one deal? That was done, right? According to what we all heard from the president, from everybody else, from Mnuchin, the zombie man. But now it's a truce. So explain this to me, because I'm not too bright. Maybe you can help me understand and dumb it down for me, because I don't get it. So how do we go from a substantial phase one deal to now a truce? I don't know about you, but weren't we promised some kind of a deal? I mean, let's just put the substantial phase one deal aside. Weren't we expecting, I mean, it's been 2 years. Half of this man's presidency, okay? It's been 2 years, and we're still waiting for something other than the recirculated nonsense dog shit lie. Things are going great. No, they're not. Things are going great. No, they're not. With regard to the trade war. You gotta be kidding me. But this is where we are. So, if you notice what's happening to this market now, trade deal or no trade deal, stocks are going up. Why? Because the Fed is running the show. Let's take Bullard at his word. Last time, he told us, he spilled the beans. He explained that the Fed was going to inflate their balance sheet. He explained that the Fed was going to recapitalize the banks, although he put it another way, said the banks were demanding capital. You know what? I think most of you are demanding capital too. Why don't you contact Bullard and see if he'll give you any? It's too much. You can't make this stuff up. And then today, coming out explaining that the repo scam, it's a scam. Believe me. The market is not being allowed to determine fair value for anything with regard to the debt market right now. All of it's a scam. The whole yield curve is a scam, which means the market is a scam. Everything connected to it does not have a price discovery mechanism behind it whatsoever, period, the end. If we know, and this is why they are choosing to rig the debt market to this degree. We've never seen anything like it before. This is way worse than anything we saw after the financial crisis. There's nothing like it. All right, this takes the cake. And it's not just the Fed. It's multiple world central banks doing the same thing at the same time. You think that's by coincidence? I know you're not that dumb. If everything gets value from what's happening in the debt market, how can the price action of anything, any asset whatsoever be real? Let that sink in a little bit. But what we do know is, regardless of what happens with the China trade deal, a truce, or whatever the president called it recently, substantial phase one deal, which is now a truce because that thing got thrown out already, I guess. It's incredible how things change in just a couple of days in this environment of lies and fakery and propaganda. Oh, did you read that propaganda article? Apparently, the New York Fed survey says that U.S. consumers believe that prices are going to be going down. They're going to be going down soon because inflation, you know, they're not seeing any of it. This is absolute propaganda. I'd be willing to bet that you see prices going up every single time you go shopping. But no, we have to believe what the Fed is telling us. Must be true, right? It's unbelievable. I don't know. I really am at a complete loss for this, where we're at. Let's summarize real quick. Being that now we have a promise by Fed President Bullard of more stimulus being poured into this market, above and beyond what we've seen already, okay? Being that this market is completely rigged, we have the Fed buying stocks, we have Mnuchin's 6 banks buying stocks. Do not bet against this market. I heard from a few of you today, I hope you're not one of them, that was either short this market or was looking to get short this market today. If you did, you got killed. Don't do this. We know what's going to happen. They are determined. The president and the Federal Reserve are determined to push stocks higher. There's no doubt about it. So if you choose to bet against this, you are making a grave mistake. I cannot stress that enough to you. Now, I know this is getting kind of long. Being that I explained to you Saturday we're going to see cryptocurrencies and metals take a hit, for which they did, I believe the risk-on environment that we're in now is going to push more cash into the stock market. It's going to get pulled out of cryptos and metals. What does this mean? This is opportunity, people. It's smacking you across the face, backhand. This is opportunity, in my opinion, you're entitled to your own, to acquire more of these assets. Bet against this bubble. We are in the most magnificent or mega bubble that the world has ever seen. And it's about to get much worse. Who's been telling you that for years? Me. I explained to you when President Trump was elected that this stock market was going to vault higher. I was right on that. I also explained to you when President Trump was elected that we were going to see debts and deficits explode to the upside like never before. Why? It's very simple. Debts must be expanded. Every president must borrow more than the last guy just to keep this system afloat. It's a debt-based model. We are witnessing the creation of a two-tier society on an unprecedented scale. Extreme haves, extreme have-nots. Middle class is being systematically wiped out. And I find that it's a crime. It's a crime in progress, what we're watching here. And the environment we are in, no matter how hard they try, cannot be sustained, and they don't want to sustain it. The issue is to issue in this two-tier society, to create extreme haves, extreme have-nots. This is how the few have controlled the many for thousands of years, but you're witnessing it right now in modern times. All right, with that said, I know it's been an awful long video. Please share this video. If you're on my team and you're not sharing my videos, that hurts me personally. I'm counting on you to share my videos, get them out there, get the word out there, start talking about these things, get more people to understand where we are. We're all in this together, and we're all responsible for each other. You know that. All right, I'm out of here. I will see you in the morning for my pre-market report. I'm sure that's going to be just lovely.